Welcome back. These are the Chapter 4 notes from Mat 1140. This is Section 4.2, Introduction to the Metric System. Now, metric system is nice because it's all based on a base 10 system, which makes it really easy to convert from one unit to the other. Now, if you noticed when we talked about customary units, we had 8 ounces in a cup, 16 ounces in a pound, 2 cups in a pint, 2 pints in a quart, 4 quarts in a gallon. It's different for everything. With the metric system, it's not. It's all base 10. So we have our standard unit. That's what would go in the ones place if we're looking at a place value chart. Okay. So our standard units are meters if we're talking about length, grams if we're talking about weight, liters if we're talking about volume or capacity. From there, we have prefixes that let us know that something's smaller. A decimeter is 1/10 of a meter. Centimeter, which we're used to, milliliters, talk about in volume a lot when we're talking about medications. And then we can go the other way. Deca for tens, and a lot of times you'll see that as DK. Hecto for hundreds, and then kilo for thousands. So as we convert from the standard unit to one of the others, it tells us what we are multiplying by. To go from a standard unit to a deca unit, meter to decameter, we're going to multiply by 10. Okay, so let's take a look at example 6. If I want 3 hectometers, my meter is my standard unit. Hecto means I'm multiplying by 100. So I've got 3 hectometers. Now, and I can think of it as 100 meters in each hectometer, if we were using that unit ratio. Or I can take a look at the conversion factor. I got 3 hectometers, 100 meters per hectometer. This is 300 meters. If I have 12 deciliters, keep in mind the liters is my standard unit. A deciliter is 1/10. So 12 tenths, that's 1.2 liters. If I have 142 kilograms, each kilogram is 1,000 grams. So 142,000 grams. Okay. It's important that we make sure that when we are talking about units that make sense. So a meter, and I don't have a conversion chart on here for you. Oops. Meter is a little over a yard. So if we are talking distances, and if you've traveled internationally, you've probably seen these on speed limit signs. The distance from Jackson, Mississippi to New Orleans, Louisiana is going to be measured in kilometers. Okay. If we talk about the weight of an adult woman, grams is going to be super lightweight. That's kind of consistent with what we would measure in ounces. Milligrams even smaller. So weight we typically measure in kilograms. Bottle of eye drops, if you've ever taken a look at that, liters is a lot. We measure small volumes, especially medications in milliliters. Weight of an aspirin, milligrams. You can check the side. Now, example 8. I've got 78 decameters. I want to convert to centimeters. I am going to use unit conversions because I remember that 1 decameter is 10 meters. And if I'm converting from meters to centimeters, 1 meter is 100 centimeters. This ends up with 78 times 1,000. I get 78,000 centimeters. If I want to convert from milligrams to decigrams, again, sometimes it's helpful to go to the standard unit and then convert. So my milligrams have canceled. I get 250 times 10, which is 2,500 divided by 100. I get 25 decigrams. For 9, if we want to add, we got to make sure that we have got a consistent measure. So if I take a look, milliliters are smaller than centiliters. So I've got 9 milliliters. I can convert my centiliters to milliliters and then add. And B, we are subtracting kilometers. Just a reminder here to add a place for anything we don't have. I get 10.6 kilometers. Here the unit doesn't change. Okay. For application problems, I've got 4 micrometers weighing 752 grams each. And this example came out of the book and everything's in grams, but that is 3,008 grams. We've got a carton and filler that weighs 217. So we are just going to add, and we get 3,225 grams. No pet. Sorry about that. Gentle pet. If we've got a 5-meter board we want to cut into 4 same-size pieces, straight division. 4 goes into 5 one time. I've got 1 left over. I can add a 0. 4 goes into 10 2 times. I did not plan well. Add another. Don't need the decimal. And 4 goes into 25 times. So 1.25 meters, we're going to leave it that way as a standard unit. There's absolutely no reason to convert it to anything else when we started in terms of meters. C is a little different. I want 25 gram packages of seeds when I've got 2 kilograms of seed. Sorry, slight typo there. So first thing I want to do is convert kilograms to grams. And we go back up here and check. There are 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram. So if I have 2 kilograms, I'm multiplying by 1,000. Gives me 2,000 grams. And then I'm just dividing that 2,000 by 25. And I know I did the last one the long way, but realistically, right, we are just going to divide it in a calculator. We have 80 packages of size 20 grams. Okay, so I want to go back up here for a minute and make sense of this. 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams, so if we're converting, that's how we're using it. 1 hectogram is 100 grams, and 1 decagram is 10 grams. Okay, along those lines, 1 gram, I'm just doing everything in grams, and we can interchange liters and meters here, is 10 decigrams. 1 gram is 100 centigrams. Think centa, century, cent, 100. And 1 gram is 1,000 milligrams. Probably should have filled those in at the beginning, but you got them now.